So now we come on to the last episode of studying the types of problems. So I told you there are 6 types of problem and we are on to the type 6. And this episode, which will explain as type 6, is the meat. What is happening in this episode of meat and what is type 6? Two trains are traveling in the opposite direction. Yes, this looks quite similar. We had done this. Two trains traveling in opposite direction. The Diva crossover. You remember that? That was type 4. What was given? The distance between the two trains here was but 0. How is this different from type 6? Here the distance was 0, which means the engine of this train was touching the engine of this train, and the question was, when will these two trains cross each other? Completely cross each other. Okay, that's why we wrote the distance to be length of two trains. Right? This was our type 4. How is type 6 different? Type 6 is saying me, I am giving you the distance between the two trains. So this is one train, this is another train. The distance between them is given. When will this train meet this train? That's it. Stop here. When will this train meet this train? So I am giving you the distance between the two trains. They are traveling in the opposite direction. When will this train come and meet this train? And the problem ends here. The problem is not saying when will they completely cross each other. In that case, you will need the length of two trains, which will not be given to you in case of type 6 problem. The only thing that will be given to you is the distance between the two trains. So I hope you understand what is the difference between type 4 and type 6. Actually, type 4 starts from type 6. If you stop here, now if I ask you when will they completely cross each other, this is nothing but your type 4. So type 4 actually starts once you complete type 6, which is when they meet then they'll cross. Okay, now I'm just asking you when will they meet. So let's start by understanding how will this happen. So let me give you the distance between the two trains is nothing but 1000 meters. This is given to me in the problem, and say the speed of one train, this train is given to me as 60 meter per second, and say speed of this train is given to me as 40 meter per second, and the question that is being asked to me is, when will this two train meet? When will this two train meet? So I am being asked time is equals to distance upon speed. This two train will have to cover together a distance of 1000 to meet, right? They together will have to cover a distance of 1000 to meet. Now what is happening with their speed? Now imagine this train, this is one train. Now how is this train moving in 1 second? How is this train moving in 1 second? 60 meters it will move. And how will this train move in 1 second? 40 meters. So they both are doing what? They both are adding with their speed to the distance. It means the distance of 1000 is covered together by them. That's why what do? You add their speeds. Just take one more example. What will happen in 2 seconds? This will cover 60 plus 60, 120. This will cover 40 plus 40, 80. So they are coming close to 1000, but they are doing it together. They are not cutting each other's speeds, which happens when they travel in the same direction. They add to the distance. So just add it. This becomes what? 60 plus 40. I'll add this. So time becomes what? 1000 upon 100, which is nothing but 10 seconds. So they will meet in 10 seconds, and that's my answer to the question. They will meet in 10 seconds. Now if you want to further visualize what will happen in 10 seconds, so what is the speed of this train? 60 meter per second. So in 10 seconds it will travel 600 meter, which is this into 10. What is the speed of this train? 40 meter per second. So in 10 seconds it will travel 400 meters, which is nothing but 40 into 10. So what are they traveling? This train is traveling 600 from here, correct? And this train is traveling 400 from here. So together they travel 1000, correct? 600 plus 400 together they travel 1000. Now I can just complicate the problem by saying that this is point A, this is point B, and this is point O. Point O is where they meet. So what is the ratio of AO is to BO? Which is nothing but 6 is to 4 and 3 is to 2. As simple as that. So just know, why do we add the speeds when two trains travel in opposite direction? And in this case, in type 6, I am not asking you about the crossover. For crossover, you will need the length of two train, which is not given to you in type 6 kind of problem. They will just ask when will the two trains meet. Okay, and that's how we end with all the types of that we have seen till now. I hope you remember all of them. We started with the terminus, train crossing a stationary object having negligible length. In this case, the distance is nothing but the length of the train. Then train crossing a stationary object having some length. The distance is nothing but length of the object plus length of the train. So length of the bridge plus length of the train. Train crossing another train, type 3, Rajdhani Express we saw. So distance is nothing but length of two trains, but speed will be subtracted because one train is going ahead of another train, so it kills the speed of another train. That's why we subtract the speed when trains are traveling in same direction, and the distance is 0 here. Then we came on to type 4, Diva crossover, which is two trains traveling in opposite direction. Distance is 0. When will they completely cross each other? So we add the speed of the two trains because they are adding on to the total distance that they have to cover. And that's how we completed with this. Then we came into the twins, two trains traveling in the same direction, but distance between them is given. And when will another train not cross over? Catch the other train. Catch the other train. You will subtract the speed here. Why? Because one train is killing the speed of the another train because it is subtracting it. If the second train is traveling, the first train is also traveling. So the second train is traveling relative to the speed of the first train, and that's why you subtract the speed in this case. And then we saw the last type, which was meet. Two trains traveling in the opposite direction, so you add the speed because they are adding on to the distance which they are traveling. Okay, and that's how with the 6 episodes of the meet, the Diva crossover, the twins, the Rajdhani Express, the bridge and the terminus, we finish with the types on trains. Okay, in the next few classes we will see on to few of the problems related to this type. So revise all the 6 types. Make sure you know all 6 of them because it is important for you to know all 6 types, the conditions for that. Then we can eventually move on to solve problems on that. And problems that you get in the exam will be a mixture of the types. So it can be a mixture of type 1 and type 2, type 2 and type 3 and so on. So make sure you know these types before we jump on to the problems.